This is episode 5 of the Tartarian Christianity series, and it is going to be a short episode. If you've missed episodes 1 through 4, I advise checking them out right here. Especially this episode 1 there's a lot of great information packed into these series. So this was the 5th episode, and because of my travels, I haven't been able to study these topics as much, but I want to share what I found recently because it's connected to all of this. Genghis Khan, Christianity, his conquest, and Freemasonry. So let's turn here. This is Los Misterios de la Franco-Masonería, the mysteries of Freemasonry. And it is written in Spanish. The book is 1,500 pages long with a huge list, here they are, of illustrations. So this is a massive piece of work. And we're starting off right here. I just happen to have a picture of the Knights Templar during one of their rituals. And this book talks about the Knights Templar and their Masonic roots. But I want to turn here to around page 255, where it's talking about a history of Freemasonry, basically going back to the Bible days. And some of the family names mentioned here are biblical families. But here we are with Hassan at the year 1090. And you'll know you're at the right page if you see him here, Hassan, with his men. This guy, he told him to stab himself in the heart, and he did it instantly. This guy, he told him to jump off the top of the castle down into the moat, and he did that instantly. But let's turn over here to the text. Of course, is in Spanish. Yo hablo español, pero yo tengo un poco difícil para read. It's a little hard for me to read all of this, even though I can speak some Spanish. So I went ahead and, I've got Google Translate. And Google Translate does a good job. I speak Spanish well enough to know that this translation is accurate. And what we're reading here is a history about Freemasonry. And this particular part is about Hassan in the year 1290 on page 257. And it's talking about this guy right here, Hassan Sabat, who's called the Old Man of the Mountain. He is the founder of a military group known as the Order of the Assassins. So the Order of the Assassins, and we'll find out that this Order of the Assassins is a Masonic order, and that Hassan Sabat is a Mason. And it may not have been called Freemasonry at that point in history, but that's exactly what it was. It was a secret society and a secret order. So let's turn back to the text here and see what it has to say. That Hassan is from the Ishmaelites. Now this is where it gets back to the biblical family. Here we have Hassan ben Sabad Homori. And his full name, look at this. Don't even ask me to try. But if you want to have a fun time, you can try to say his full name. And founder of a new branch of a sect of the Eastern Ishmaelites Assassin branch. Hassan was without a doubt the most famous Ishmaeli chiefs. And there's no one who's not heard of this terrible Grand Master of Muslim Freemasonry, known by the fearsome name of Old Man of the Mountain. Hassan divided the Ishmaelite system into 2 classes, 9 grades, and a 3rd class. The 9 Ishmaelite grades, and it has all these different classes, just like Freemasonry. And again, it's not the 33 degrees like there is now in the Scottish Rite. Well, officially 32. But anyways, the 9 Ishmaelite, there's all these different grades and classes and teachers. And the teachers were the ones who could reach the last mysteries. Just like in Freemasonry, you have to get to the very top before the last mysteries are revealed. And at that point, it's too late. But this secret, it talks here about the secret order and how it's covered with an impenetrable veil. And without a doubt that Hassan was a grand master of Muslim Freemasonry, the founder of the Order of the Assassins. Again, undoubtedly a Masonic order. And the text goes on. I'm not going to take time here to read it. Of course, I encourage you to turn over and read the book yourself. It's basically going through, it's quoting some Marco Polo here. It's related to Hassan, the old man of the mountain, and how in 1090 he seized Alamat, and some real interesting stuff here. I thought that part was quite interesting. But as it's covering the history of Freemasonry at the moment, Freemasonry is being, at least in the year 1124, Freemasonry is being passed through this eastern sect of the Assassins. But Hassan died in 1124, but it kept going. And the Order of the Assassins, again, a Masonic order, subsisted until the year 1254, at which time Mengu Khan, the grandson of Genghis Khan, flooded the east with his Mongolic or Tartarian hordes, seized Persia, made the king of Baghdad disappear. Now, in our Tartarian Christianity series, it is not called Baghdad, it's called Baldach. So we know that Baghdad is Baldach, is Babylon. They're all the same. But Mengu Khan, the grandson of Genghis Khan, flooded the east, killed the king of Baghdad, overthrew other thrones, and in the same blow destroyed the sect of the Assassins. That's right. Genghis Khan and his family were not only on a Christian conquest, they were on an anti-Masonic conquest. They were out to destroy the Masonic sect of the Order of the Assassins, to destroy Freemasonry. And now turning to history of the Order of the Assassins, and we could probably have a picture of the old man on the mountain here. And in line with the Tartarian Christianity theme that Genghis Khan is undoubtedly the opening of the first seal, I thought it was really interesting that Genghis Khan's era is called the Great Resurrection. 1124 through 1210, this is when Genghis Khan was alive. And that after Genghis Khan, it's called the post-resurrection. But we could find some more about the Mongols here, 1206 through 1227 at 125. Mongols here in this post-resurrection period. It became believed that only a few had actually achieved spiritual reunion with God in the Great Resurrection. Is this Great Resurrection connected to the book of Revelation? But here is turning, and of course is talking about Genghis Khan, 1206. He was a shamanist, but definitely a Christian. He was on a Christian conquest to restore the kingdom of Jerusalem to the Christians. And he adopted the name Genghis Khan, the perfect warrior. And what do we have over here? A death blow. If this doesn't verify the information that we just read, I don't know what does. The death blow, 14th century, we got the Mongol warrior giving the death blow to a wounded foe. There's the Mongol warrior, Genghis Khan, or his grandson, or a warrior from that tribe. Look what they got to tell. But given the death blow, and what do we have here? The Masonic black and white checkered floor of the Masonic sect of the Order of the Assassins. We have the anti-Masonic Genghis Khan army on a conquest to destroy Masons. I had actually covered this rock and this battle in the Tartarian Christianity series, the Rock of Gidurka, where the assassins, the Masons, beat off the Tartarians for 14 years until 1270. But guess what? Eventually, the Masons lost and the Tartarians defeated them. Now, how the Masons got back in power, I don't know. But what a wonderful 2-page miniature showing the Mongols taking Baghdad from 1258, when it says that Mengu Khan captured or killed the king of Baghdad. That's exactly what this picture is showing. We have the Baghdad being taken in 1258, and the king of Baghdad may be seen leaving the palace to cross the Tigris and surrender. So I wanted to share this from this history book. It seems as though Genghis Khan and his family, of course Genghis Khan not completing the conquest in his lifetime, but being carried on by his family and Mengu Khan, that they were out not only on a Christian conquest, but they were also out on a conquest to destroy Freemasonry. And we have multiple historical sources hinting at that exact thing, just as we see here. So at this point in time, Genghis Khan is one of my favorite historical people. And if I'm not mistaken, he is the last one to successfully destroy a Masonic sect. Was he the opening of the first seal? To me, undoubtedly. What an anti-Masonic Christian hero. Let's get some more Christians like Genghis Khan who are willing to stand up against the evils of Freemasonry and fight against the enemy. Oh, and I'll leave a link in the description to each and every image out of this book. I went through the whole book and I wasn't, of course, able to read the whole thing yet. It's 1,500 pages. But here is a link to all of the images, like if you want to learn about the Masons and what they're all about. And what a wonderful group of charitable men they are. Oh, and what do the Masons have to say about this guy who wrote this book, Leo Taxil, who wrote a 1,500-page book with countless hand-drawn illustrations? What do the Masons have to say about this guy? Oh, yeah, that's right. They want to put horns on him and make him into a devil and call it the Taxil hoax. They want to make sure everybody knows that this book is a hoax and that this guy spent, 5, 10, 15 years writing a 1,500-page book with countless illustrations, all just to be a silly little hoax. I spent with my fellow authors hatching out new plots, unheard perversions of truth and logic, each trying to outdo each other. Taxil later confessed, "I thought I would kill myself laughing at some of the things proposed. But everything went. There is no limit to human stupidity." So yeah, he was just laughing and giggling and having a good old time when he wrote a 1,500-page book just as a big old hoax. Uh-oh. The Taxil hoax is still being propagated. Hence, in the 21st century, Freemasonry finds itself at the center of controversy through misinformation. Oh, you poor guys. Examples emerged at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, when Freemasonry got blamed for spreading the virus in an attempt to control the population. Oh, you poor worshipful Daniel doofus. These guys, man, being being so upset that some guy releases information about your stupid little boys club that you got to write all this nonsense and try to call it a big hoax. He had a 1,500-page hoax that Leo Taxil spent years and years and years of his life working on. This entire PDF is written by Masons. The Devil's Weed and the Luciferian Freemasonry hoax of Leo Taxil. Oh, it's a big hoax. There is no Luciferianism in Freemasonry. This Baphomet, pictures like this were never drawn by Dogma and Ritual of the High Magic by Eliphas Levi. Solve Coagula, J.K. Rowling. The Confession of Leo Taxil. He admitted to his 12-year-long prank. Yeah, he spent 12 years writing this book and 12 years of his life putting together this piece of work just as a big old prank. Okay, so I'm glad anti-Semitism, anti-Masonry, and the Taxil hoax, that's when you know you've hit the nail on the head of truth. When they start crying anti-Semitism, they start crying anti-Masonry, and then they throw in number 3, the Taxil hoax. That's how you know the Taxil is not a hoax, and everything in it is complete truth. Anyways, you know you've got truth when the Masons are publishing information calling it a hoax. That's when you know you need to dig into that topic, because that is where truth is to be found. So I advise you to go head on over and read this book, even though it's in Spanish. Los Misterios de la Freemasonry by Leo Taxil. 1,500 pages of nothing but truth. And interestingly, we get tied into Genghis Khan and Tartarian Christianity, and it looks like he was not only on a Christian conquest, but he was also an anti-Masonic hero.